Well, you guys asked for it. You told me I wasn't allowed to buy a wing for the Fiat 500. I was to repair the dented one and rattle can it. So you asked for it. Let's get on it. Don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but that is white from one delivery and that is white from another delivery. Exactly the same paint code from the same supplier, just on 2 different days. So guys, we're back on the paint on the Fiat 500 from the last video. We've left it overnight. Ideally we'd leave it for 2 days before doing this, so I'm just going to go particularly gentle. What we're doing now is wet sanding. So I've got a bucket of very soapy water here. I've got some 800 grit, some 1000 grit and some 2000 grit. My compound is 3000 grit, so I'll stop at that point. You can see from the light reflection here, this is where I've already started sanding. We're going in a crosshatch direction, so up and then down with a cork block. You can use a rubber block instead, and a wet and dry sandpaper, which this particular case you just grabbed from Halfords. What you're looking to do is, as you sand, you'll feel resistance from the sandpaper. As soon as you start to stop feeling that resistance and it glides across, it basically means it's knocked the top off to that level of grade, so to 800 grit. I probably wouldn't do 800 grit for a lot of you more inexperienced people, because that can quickly catch you out, especially on the edges. You've got to be careful of the edges here. Probably 1200 is the best place to start, or 1000. So we're cross hatching until basically the block starts to move smoothly, because that means it's gone to that grade of sandpaper, and then stop and move to the next grade. You see I've left all the masking on because this creates a lot of mess, so there's no point demasking the car yet, as much as you might want to at this point. And what we'll do, like I say, after we've gone down to the 2000, is we'll then 3000 compound polish it. You can use a DA on this. I don't have any discs at the moment for the DA sander that are 1000 and 2000. And also, because the paint's a little soft, I'd rather wet sand at the moment to create less resistance. But yeah, you could DA. If you've got a DA, you can get discs to that, but you've just got to be very careful on your edges. Try and stay away from your edges because it's very quick to burn through. And a little trick you can do if you want to avoid that is put a piece of masking tape over the edges while you do it, then pull it off and just hand do that a little bit later on. But it's quite a lot of graft, but it does make a lot of difference. So this has been 800 here so far. Shows a lot lighter on the camera. Yeah, it's 800 here so far, so we're going to 1000 that now, and then we are going to like I say, machine polish. I haven't touched the wing yet, so I'm just on a door at the moment. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it on camera, but I had a bit of a drama with this one today. Delivery driver brought us this Brera convertible that is a non-starter, and he decided he was going to roll it off the back of the trailer super quick, but hadn't fixed his ramps, and one of the ramps fell off and the whole front of the car went whoomph down onto the back of the flatbed, with the rear wheels on the ground, the front end of the car on the flatbed. And he just sat there looking at us like he didn't know what to do. So I had to come up with a bit of a game plan. We managed to slide 2 jacks in underneath it, between where it was on the flatbed, where the front edge was literally resting on the bottom of the flatbed. Managed to get 2 jacks in both sides and lift it high enough to pull the ramps out and then drive the truck forward and then lower it back down again. How he got away without doing any damage, he was incredibly lucky, because the ramp stuck on the lower wishbones rather than on the bodywork of the car. I'm amazed it didn't break the bumper. But yeah, unfortunately I didn't have a camera to hand at the time. I was too busy trying to help them sort it out. But I remember the second he started rolling off the ramp like really quickly, I thought, he's a bit keen, isn't he? He's a bit confident. And then once his ramp fell out from behind him. So we're now sanded to 3000, and time to get the machine polisher out and see what we've really got. My confidence levels a little low on this one. I don't think the white they gave me is quite right, and I'm blending into too large an area. My fallback on this always is go and get it done by a professional. I think there's enough money in the car to do it, and I've done the major repair of the wing now, so for them just to blow across here shouldn't be massively expensive if needs be. But we'll see, we'll give it a machine polish and see how it comes out. So this is the end result after the machine polish, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy with it. It's colour match isn't great. I probably need to move it outside to the side. The blend isn't great. The colour match isn't great. It's even worse on camera. It's better in real life, but it's worse on camera. And also, I messed up. So I'm always straight with you guys when I mess up. And I don't want you to think it goes perfectly all the time. We've got an issue here, just here, look at that. That's basically where the polisher got too hot on fresh paint that hadn't fully hardened and bunched it all up. So that's got to be wait to dry and sand down and try and sort out. And I'm not sure if you can see it on camera. Just the blend isn't, I'm not 100% happy with the blend. I'm gonna have to get it outside in the light, have another look at it and make a decision from there, but it's quite possible I'll hand this over to a professional to do. Get them to paint the door, get them to paint the wing and blend into that rear quarter. Just paint the side of the car. There's enough money in it to do it. Obviously it's eating into profits, but I'll move it outside and see how happy I am. But they certainly, rattle canning areas this big is certainly not ideal. You really want to mask the whole side of the car off, and you want to use a proper gun, and you want to use colour then lacquer and blend into this panel, and you will get a better finish. So you've got to balance up how much time it's going to take you to do it. I mean, this is obviously costing me time now, because if I get it redone, then all my time doing this was wasted. So again, underneath the lights in here with the camera on it can often look a lot worse than it is, so we'll get it outside in the light. I mean, we'll still have to flat that paint back even if it turns out outside the colour's not so bad. Obviously here, where I didn't have to actually go panel to panel, the colour's okay, but it's here where I've had to go panel to panel. The white from them seems a little bit brighter. This is creamier. I had this problem with the Corsa on one of my previous videos, didn't I? But anyway, let's get it back together, get it out before we make any decisions. Right guys, sorry for all the noise in the background, but I just had to put a shout out for this. It's Monday morning. I'm giving the cars a clean because they've got dirty over the weekend. I'm cleaning the dacia again, which is now getting a little bit sticky, this dacia. But anyway, it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? I cleaned this with the Moonshine Quick Detailer and gave it a quick wipe over with that. And I had to show you this, guys, 2 weeks later, and it's still beading beautifully. And all I did was spray it on and wipe it off. So, you know, when I find a good product, I'm always going to shout it out to you guys. Again, I'm not getting any money out of this at all. I'm just pointing out to you the product I've sent actually is really good, and is way better than any quick detail I've used before. So, yeah, big shout out to the Moonshine Quick Detailer. Don't forget 25% off if you use the code CHOPSGarage when you order it, but really good stuff. Isn't this gorgeous? A deep metallic purpley blue Alfa Romeo GT 3.2. So this is the last one, the last Alfa with the 3.2 V6 Buso in it, if I believe correctly. Stunning car. These are rocketing up in price now. Absolutely stunning looking motors. Also got in a stunning 155 twin spark. What I love about this is the guy uses it daily. It's no trailer queen. He uses it to go to work. He's done well over 120,000 miles, I think, this one. Tell a lie, 180,000 miles. And I just had no engine rebuild as far as I'm aware either. So 180,000 miles. who said Alphas can't do the mileage, eh? Lovely looking car. A lot of fun, these twin spark 155s. So after the mess up with the paint supplier giving us the wrong paint, decided the best course of action, move it in the booth. And as I said to you guys, rattle can jobs, it's hard to do large areas of panel, sorry for flickering. So I've keyed the whole side of the entire car down, because you remember that paint was on the door here and on the front of the wing. So we're going to paint the whole side of the car. We're going to blend it up over into the bonnet and bring it all the way up here onto this pillar up here, and it'll all be done in two pack paint. So Stuart will do it with the big gun. So yeah, it was just a point where sanding it all back down again and then having to spray the whole lot and try and match it all in together with the third batch of paint that they've sent me. It was just too risky, so we'll do the whole side of it, and then even if the white's slightly off, it's going to blend into the bonnet here, and it'll blend into the rear quarter up here. So chances of it being noticeable when the whole side of the car's in the same one is very minor. So yeah, I know I like to do rattle can stuff, guys, but you really need to keep the small areas with the rattle can. Big areas like this, it's I mean, it could be done. Could be done. I'd say you'd need about 4 or 5 cans, and you need to lay it on thick and then wet sand it all back afterwards. It can be done, don't get me wrong, but time-wise, this is a lot quicker, and we're likely to get a better finish. So that's where we are with the 500. So Stu's blasted the old 500 with the paint last night. Just started de-taping it, so we've got a nice even colour all the way along the car, and it's not too bad match to the old paint. This hasn't been polished yet. This will come up brighter once it's polished. This is still a bit dirty. There is some flattening and polishing to do with the paint. We've got a little bit of trash in it, so we just need to sort that out. So the whole thing will be like probably 1200, 1500, 2000, and then compound. And then we'll compound the panels adjoining it as well to make sure they're as bright as they possibly can, and then get her up for sale. Put all the trim back on and get her up for sale. Like I always say to you, removing as much trim as you can makes life a lot easier. Taking the door handle off, indicator out, wing mirror off, the trim off the side of the door there makes the job a lot easier. You haven't got, last person that painted it had a line all the way along here where they hadn't taken it off, and that led to not a good finish. You can tell straight away it had been painted this way. When that trim goes back on, there won't be any line in the paint at all. So let's get cracking and get that done.